Tonight, the questions nobody wants to touch are going live. Join Tiff and the Punisher at 7:45 p.m. Eastern for a raw, unfiltered discussion about CPS, families, court battles, false claims, custody nightmares, and the fight to protect parental rights. If you have been silenced, dismissed, threatened, or forced to carry your story alone, this is your chance to speak. Chime in live. Share what happened. You may even be invited on to tell your story in your own words. CPS Breaking News is where victims, parents, and advocates come together to expose the truth, support each other, and push for a fairer system. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Be part of the conversation. Tonight at 7:45 p.m. Eastern with Tiff and the Punisher. Join the fight for parental rights.
Yeah. The hunters just became the hunted. Tiff and the Punisher. We're coming for you. Judges paid off clean, tearing up families, living out their dream. Equal and the same, we uncover the game. Foster care corruption, putting kids through the pain. Gunning for CPS, no mercy, no slack. We expose the truth, now you're under attack. You came for the children, thought you'd never fall, but the table's turning. Hear the battle call. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. When the hunters become the hunted, CPS, your time is through. Tiff and the Punisher rising from the flames, uncovering the lies, screaming out the name. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. Podcast dropping bombs, every episode raw. Real survivor stories breaking every law. You hunt the parents, label us all insane, but we flip the script, now you feel the pain. Gunning for CPS, equal and the same. Breaking down the system, screaming out your name. Foster care secrets buried in the dirt. We dig them up deep, watch the whole thing burn. You thought you were untouchable, hiding behind the stage, but the hunted are rising. It's already too late. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. When the hunters become the hunted, CPS, your time is through. Tiff and the Punisher rising from the flames, uncovering the lies, screaming out the name. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. We are coming for you. Gunning for CPS, equal and the same. Uncovering foster care, your empire, foster day. When the hunters become the hunted, we are coming for you. When the hunters become.
They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallets. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But When they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You will no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stopped losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She's tired of our kids being taken. God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher screaming out loud about a CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up by Tiff Tack. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with hot speed. We will do so much being together. The birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come. Picking you off one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher Warrior. And we cry out to all you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. Our children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping.
Yeah. What's up, Tiff? Whew, it's cloudy. I gotta change my camera view here. Wow, how was your weekend, Tiff?
Oh, it's been a long weekend and a very agitating day. I have a migraine, like somebody hit me in the head with a sledgehammer.
They might have.
Yeah, they might have.
There's a very good chance in your house that could happen.
Yeah. How was your day?
Well, I dropped the ball big time today. I don't know what happened, but I talked to my mother this morning, and she was kind of bummed out because she didn't sound like she was going to come home from the hospital. So I got into doing whatever it was I was doing, and about 3:45, I said, geez, the nurse hasn't called me, and nor is my mom. She must not be coming home. So I went and picked up my phone, and to no avail. There was about 200,000 missed calls and an old woman slamming on the door downstairs at that moment. And it was my mom. So she's home from the hospital.
Well, I hope she's feeling better.
Yeah, she, well, I mean, I don't know about feeling better, but she's happy to be home from the hospital. So that's good. So, yeah, she's home. So that happened today. I was working on a new angle of some things for us. I'm going to show you this here. I just saved it, and then I was trying to play it at the beginning of the show. I don't know where it went. And you know what? I want to say this while I'm looking for this. Anybody that didn't see the Main Matters show last night should definitely check it out. It was really a great show that Dana and I, the Angry Citizen, did CPS Punisher, a lot teaser. It was really good. And, just because it's a main show doesn't mean that it's not for your state or your problems as well. So don't look at it and be like, well, I don't want to watch it because it's main, because it's really relevant to, most areas. And we had a good turnout. Like a lot of the people that watch us here were there. So that was really cool. That was unexpected. So thank you guys for that. That was really cool. But yeah, it was a great show. We talked about the drug pipelines and how drugs are making a big impact on CPS and the families, and how like we as a nation have just been pretty much pummeled on, and it's time for us to get our shit back together and get our shit back, from this government that is pretty much just taking it from us. Not really taking it. We've given them this by not paying attention to stuff, right? Like we are giving them all of these rights by not challenging speeding tickets, by not, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Tiff? Like we are allowing them to just go through and simply wipe everything up that they want to wipe up, because we don't challenge it.
Right, because when we don't challenge it, they say, "Oh, we got away with this one. Let's try another one, and another one, and another one," until they get us all, except for a few of us. They'll just comply, and we'll just be the wolves and the sheep, whatever.
Wolves in sheep's clothing, yes.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just lead the flock, and they'll just follow down behind me. But they got some people fucked up, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't following down behind nobody.
Well, I mean, I talked to my mom about this stuff. The other day, for instance, at our house, we had the cops stop by because a friend of mine was out front and he was working on a stereo. Well, the cops stopped by, said, because they were concerned, because this is the thing, and this is what we talked about on the show last night, is they are really hiding behind this whole, they look like they were overdosed. And, these people have never done drugs in their life. So imagine that this cop comes up and he's like, oh, we got a phone call that you were, slumped over, which they weren't slumped over. They were working on the freaking car, in the back of the car, with the speakers and stuff. There was nothing like that, but these people can call and do this stuff. And then the cops went forward to tell them that if you want trouble in this town, then you keep coming here. Otherwise, I suggest you don't come back. And that stuff like that, that goes without, they're doing this. They're breaking our boundaries down. All of us, I know who it was, but I'm not going to say her name. Think about the one that was in the hospital that they said that they were doing a line off of the armchair, like the chair arm at the hospital. Ridiculousness, but if they would have let that go without saying, these people are just finding more ways. Mandated reporting. Look at all of the tattletales that are out there now. We have created a complete. Yeah, go ahead.
The government has created a tattletale system, right? Because I don't know, because I'm a little quite not that much older than you, but I'm older than you. I remember when we would go tell on one of our friends,
you got in trouble.
We were stop being a tattletale in my business.
You're not that much older, because that is exactly what I got to. Same thing. Nobody likes a tattletale. Don't do this. There's a difference between assisting someone that's in an emergency and being in a tattletale, just like there's a difference between imminent danger and disciplining your kid. It's the same. The same two scenarios are right there. Like CPS isn't supposed to come unless there's an imminent danger situation. Like your kid's on fire, or you're on fire and there's a bomb in your house, and Godzilla's stomping through your backyard, and you need ambulances and the military and all this stuff. That's what imminent danger is. That's how they got around using our rights against us and saying that they don't need to go see a judge to remove your child was based on imminent danger. But I bet you that there's nobody out here who's watching our show that has even had an imminent danger situation since their kid's been alive, let alone one that has to have them come and take their kids. But we're allowing it to happen. We're giving them that access, that bit by bit. They don't stand on the curtilage anymore. They come to your front door. There was a point in time where the cops didn't even come past the curb. But we allow them these little bits. They take a mile. And now here we are. They're knocking on the door. And instead of saying, get the hell off my lawn, get back to the curbage, we're saying, do you have a warrant? Well, why should I have to ask you if you have a warrant?
Right.
You're supposed to, your ass is supposed to be back on the street where you have jurisdiction, because nobody called you to this address. You have no jurisdiction until I call you here.
That part.
So we're doing this, people. But here's this. Check this out, Tiff. This is kind of a direction, and we're going in for some things.
The night before the strike.
Lights, cameras, Constitution.
No scripts, no mercy, just the record.
They thought the family was finished. Tonight we finished them.
Segment 1, the warrant that never existed. Segment 2, the ADA they pretended not to see. Segment 3, the names that are about to become very public.
This is not a podcast. This is the opening argument.
Watch the show Monday through Thursday, 7:45 Eastern.
What do you think of that, Tiff? Kind of comic booky, right?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so a little bit comic booky, right? So maybe or maybe not that says that there's something in the works for a new form of Tiff and the Punisher, an extra, that we're going to do. And maybe I've gone into creating a actual comic book for us, a Tiff and the Punisher comic book. And that's something to look for, but that's kind of like the lure into it. I've got a little bit, let me see if I can pull this up right here. Oh yeah, here we go. Let me see if I can share my screen. You guys can take a peek at what we were working on, but don't go anywhere because we got something really important to talk about here. If you're not digging this part right here, just stay tuned because we got some more stuff to talk about. But here's some of the stuff at the beginning of the Tiff and the Punisher comic book right here. So let me see here. You click on this page. Can you come back to page 2, please? There we go. Tiff and the Punisher comic books. Look at them. Don't they look great? Here's one of the pages.
I want one.
Oh, they're not done yet. We're not quite done yet. We're just getting into them. So there's that with all of us there. Let's see. There's another one. Yep. So these are the likings. I like this one a lot right here. That's a great group.
Yeah, I like
there.
that one too.
Mm-hmm. There's always, look at Tiff running out in front. Everybody, she's the one that ain't scared of shit. She's the one that's going to come. Oh yeah, here's the Main Matters podcast one that we did. But yeah, guys. So Tiff and I had talked about some things, and with the rest of the gang, and I think we're going to start a comic book. Like a once a month comic book episode to come out, and you can share, if you have kids, share it with your kids and stuff, so they can start learning about CPS. Because Tiff, last night I was going through my Facebook and I noticed a post that was on there, and it was kind of about and I'm not going to bring it to light about what the post was that brought me to say this, but they were kind of like badgering on the whole fact of, well, until the parents can come together type deal, there's not going to be a movement and yada, yada, yada. So I pretty much sat there. I thought about it for a minute, and I wanted to enrage and go off on the other way, but I also wanted to agree with what they were saying about the parents and the advocates making money and all this stuff, because, we have a whole different opinion here. No, we don't charge you money for the stuff that we do. But we do have viable products that we will give you that is represented by a price tag because it costs us money to do these things, aka our books, our, these or that or the other. So we do have things that we will sell you. But, watching Tiff and the Punisher is free. Getting the information from us is free, unless you want to donate, using our apps. They all have free versions available. But, they still, at the end of the day, they all cost us money, to run these things. So I started sitting there thinking, and I'm like, you know what, Tiff? This isn't the problem at all. The problem is that no advocate tells the truth. No advocate comes out when they say, can you help me get my kid back? Sure. Yep. Let's see this. And we're going to do this, this, and this. Tiff, we're all lying when we say that. We can help you out and we can do this. Now, I know that we don't say we guarantee and I promise and none of those words. We will never, ever do that. If anybody is telling you that stuff, get the hell away from them, because you're just getting ready to be stomped on worse than you already were. Or that is a scam for you. Any of them people are guaranteeing you shit, and I mean that shit, then get away from them, because that's a lie and that's a scammer. But here's the truth. And I hope you guys have your seatbelts on, and I hope you're ready for what's about ready to happen. And I spoke to Tiff about this, and she 100% agrees with what I said in that post. I'm sorry to tell you that if you've already lost your kids, chances are good you're not going to get them back before they're TPR'd. Now, you might have a chance to fight in that court, and out of the graces of God or some miracle that comes through, you might be able to persuade a judge or something happen that you have made it through, and they choose to let you have your kids back before that. All right. Now, the thing that you need to know is that you can't fight with all of this legal jargon and all of this stuff until you're TPR'd and you file for an appeal. Now, after the appeal, when you go to your appeal, you finally have a chance to really argue law. So what I mean by all of this, and what I meant in that post, is this: you fight this case with tooth and nail. Get rid of your attorney if you have to. If they don't do it for you, you do it. All you care about in this case is filling that record. You make sure that your record for that TPR trial is so full that they need a freaking damn trolley to bring it out. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you go to an appeal, it's not a whole new trial. You can only argue in an appeal what took place in that trial. And what the lawyers are doing to all of us, and this is why we can't win in the appeal, is they're not putting in any evidence or any information into our records. So when we go to fight an appeal, there's nothing to fight. They already know they're doing this. They're doing this on purpose. This is why when you go get your case files at the courts, you get it and there's like nothing in there. You know, maybe a half-assed written report about your, your counselor from 6 months ago, right? Because the judge can't rule on what he doesn't know. And then the other thing is, we know that these judges that rule in family courts aren't true judges. They don't fight with the law on their mind or on their side. Maybe to a degree of the of the state's constitution, because that's where they swear their oath to, but not so much. When you get to that appeal, that's the first time that you actually get the chance to go out and argue law. And if you haven't played this follow-up game properly, you're going to lose in the appeal. I look every day at the state of Maine decisions, and you know what I see all day long? All they do is sit there and agree with the lower court's decisions. You know, we affirm, we affirm, we affirm, we affirm, we affirm. And then you look back and they have nothing in their files. Nothing. Their lawyers didn't do jack shit for them. And they let them ride this out. How many people I'm listening to that have lost visits with their kids? Where's the advocates telling them, no, that's wrong. Go file an immediate contempt court action because the judge ordered you to have a goddamn visit with your child. You take those visits until that judge orders it that it doesn't happen. You don't stop visiting your kid. This is a game that they play to break the bond, to separate you from them, to make it so that you can get automatically TPR'd for abandonment if you don't speak to them. These are all games that they play. If the judge doesn't say you stop your visitations, then you don't stop. Go pound on that goddamn door until they come out and visit, because it's only going to be used against you. Because you know what? Your lawyer's not going to say that CPS ordered that against you. The judge isn't going to have any information about that. What the judge is going to have information on is you haven't been showing up at visits for your kids. That's what the judge is going to see, because CPS's folder is this freaking tall. So people, I'm sorry. If your kids have been taken, they're going to remain taken until you get to that TPR. So what do we say about that? Hurry up and get to that goddamn TPR so that you can start and get into a real court that's a court of record that uses the Constitution as a standard, and that you have a fighting chance in hell. But you got to play the game right. You need to get all of this stuff into your files. You need to. It's so important. You know, and the other thing is this. You're right. You know, the guy in the post said that, you know, this isn't the reason this isn't a movement. We are not movement. Us that are watching the show and are participating in the show are not movement people. We're survivors, or we're victims, whatever you want to call us. Movement are the people that need to step up in the back and make sure that everybody's educated, to make sure that everybody knows that CPS is a real thing, to make sure that they know their rights so that CPS doesn't. You know, I was thinking on this when I was writing that post last night. You know what? When you're out with your kids and stuff, make sure that you're hanging out with your neighbors and their kids, or 2 or 3, because what this country has done to us all is by saying, you know what? Be alone, be an individual, stand up for yourself, be by yourself. They did that on purpose, because by yourself, you aren't anything. Strength works in numbers. That's been a saying for 1,000 years. By yourself, you might be able to conquer yourself and you're within. Sure, absolutely. And kudos to you. Congratulations. But when CPS rolls up and you've got 3 or 4 of your neighbors there with 8 other kids, it's going to be a little tougher for them to come in and say, we're taking your kids, don't you think? We need to all get back to that mentality that we need to be together. Strength in numbers, people, and then create a movement. That's the movement. The movement isn't here where we are and what we do. This is where we're fighting, truly fighting for people's lives and their kids. The movement needs to be aware. Be aware of what these people do. I'll tell you right now, if you're a heterosexual white family that's married and has 2 kids, lock your goddamn doors, get a constitution and a cross out, because they're gunning for you. You are the number 1 target in this country to remove kids on. The number 1. Why? Because you're a family, number 1. We want to break up the family. Remember, that's Division of Family Services. Division of Family Services. They don't want the husband there with the wife, because together they're strength, they're bond, they're tight. So what do? They say you're an abuser. They say you're a drug addict. You can't have your husband in this house with you. You need to do all this. They separate you. That's the first thing that they do. That's not because you and your husband are bad. You guys know what your dirty secrets are, and you keep them to yourselves. Don't go telling this jerk asshole your secrets, because that weakens you guys together. Don't let them persuade you. They went to psychology classes. They know how to make you get all mind fucked on this stuff. They're not your friends. Don't let them break that bond between you and your spouse, whether you hate them or not. Don't let them do it, because the minute you break yourselves, you've shown them that you're weak, and then they're going to come in and they're going to hammer down on you. This is what's going on. That's what needs to be in the movement, people.
And part of that, right? We try to educate people, right? We do educate people. What they choose to do with the information that they get from us is on them. But I will tell you, that is their main goal. If you look it up, Darren is not lying. It doesn't say Department of Social Services. It says Division of Social Services, Division of Child Support Enforcement, Division this, Division that.
Yep.
But if you know, right, like I know that there's a Marriage Act. Marriage is protected, okay? So they're also breaking that law, because marriage usually, okay, no matter what you worship or who you worship or what God you pray to or don't pray to, I have no control over that. Marriage is a religious thing. I don't care who you worship again. I don't care. I don't want to know.
Right.
But that's an attack. Right. That's an attack on your religious beliefs and an attack on your marriage, which is sacred, because again, I know that my vow said, what God has brought together, let no man break apart.
That's it. And I believe that the law actually states that you can't be a witness, or you can't be a witness to your husband, your spouse's crimes, right? You can't testify against your spouse, right?
That's right. It's called marital privilege.
But yet they do all of this stuff, people.
Because people don't know.
So the movement needs to be what the education is, and to stop this stuff. Like, we're not a movement. We're like in rescue mode. We're your last line of defense or offense, however you want to look at it, of trying to help you. We're the ones that are trying to do above and beyond, or try to come up with things that are above and beyond to make it that you can, after your TPR, get your kids back. You know, like Tiff works on that side of things, you know, before the TPR and everything, and she does all that. But the majority of us are all dealing with people that are already in this system. So a movement, right? A movement isn't a thing that's like, let's figure this out because our kids have already been in this. A movement is, this isn't going to happen anymore. So we need the younger generations to stand up behind us and start knowing their rights. And I said something in that post last night too. I said, I said it right in there. I said, don't trust anyone. Don't even trust me for what I was saying in the post. Do the research yourself. Go out and don't do it online. Go get a book, because I'm going to tell you something about all this digital knowledge that they have. They alter and they change and they manipulate and all this stuff, so that way you don't see what the hard truth is. Go get yourself a real book with real paper and real ink in it, and what you read there is the law. They can't manipulate these books. Right, exactly. They can't do this stuff. They can't change it. They can't do anything with it. So you'll have it as a fact right there in the books. And then, you know what? Now you can come back. You can argue with me that I was wrong and everything else. If I was wrong, you know what? But you just learned for yourself. You took it for yourself. Now you can be an advocate because you just took what I said, challenged me, learned about it, and now you know what the truth is. So now you can pass that on to your friend. That's advocating, people. That's advocating. Not just putting a sticker on that says I'm an advocate. That's advocating, learning for yourself and passing information on to others. That way that they don't step in the same shit you did. That's what advocating is.
And not only that, it doesn't matter if Darren, me, Becca, the angry citizen, CPS Deadpool, it doesn't matter if we're advocates and we're out here doing stuff. Nobody can advocate for your case better than you. It's your case. I'll give you the perfect example. My case, I hope these bitches are watching. My case is so airtight that I hope they're ready for what's coming. I really hope.
Well, you know what? And that'll be it. They'll get shown in the courtroom and they'll get their asses whipped, and that'll be that. And that's what's going to begin to happen with all of these people.
But the most important thing is you as the parent can't ever stop. Just because CPS closes a case or they TPR you, you can't stop, right? Because I don't want to say you gave up and you're beat down. You have to find the strength, right? You have to keep going, because until people start showing up and showing out in these courtrooms and standing on their beliefs and their constitution, this is not going to stop.
That's right. So this is big, people, and this is truth, and this is the truth. And I'm sorry that it is. I'm sorry that, don't let people sugarcoat it to you. The bottom line is, but this should drive a fire in your ass now. You know what? Use the rest of this time. If you're in a case right now with CPS, use this time and make a game out of it. Be like, oh, bing, yep, got another one. Put that in my file. Make sure, take it to the courthouse yourself and make sure that they put it in the evidence file and smile the whole damn way there. If they're challenging, if they took away your visits, you go to that court and you file contempt of court, because you have an order that says if that judge told you that you are to see your kids. No judges or no people out there are challenging these things when they're stopping their visits. You need to. You have to. The judges don't know they can't rule properly. They're not all bad. They're not all bad, just like there's not all bad CPS workers. There's not all bad, there's not all bad people in the world. And there's people that do right and do their jobs, but it's up to us and up to us alone to make sure that it is done right. No good job for doing something half-assed. No one gets it, or not everybody gets a trophy. Do it yourself. Learn about it. Read about it. Challenge everything. Everybody, you can do this pro se.
And I mean everything. Everything.
That's it. You need to do this for yourself. If not, don't even worry about everybody else. Don't worry. Everybody will be here to hold your hand and to hold you up when you need it. But you don't need it right now. So learn. Don't waste your time trying to get sympathy and trying to get more help. Learn it yourself, people. You are the ones that are going to make the difference. You are the ones that are going to be the next advocates.
Yeah.
You are the ones that are going to teach this next generation. We need you all.
We need y'all.
Right. We need you all to be that. And we need you to win cases. We need you to change what I just said. What I said is true. We need that to change. And it's going to be all of you guys that are out there that are getting new to this, that are just learning this. It's going to be up to you guys to make these changes. Because the fights that we're in right now are going to be the rest of our life tenure. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. I guarantee you we're not even going to see the end of our fight, what it is. But you guys, you younger ones that are out there that are watching this, that this is happening to, you need to start that fight. Don't worry about us. We've got this fight. It's time for you guys to start your fight. And start it by educating. Do the things that we've taught you to do. Do the things that we talked to you about doing. Because they will work. It will work. But the problem is everything that we told you guys and we've taught everybody is it's too late. When you're here and you found this now, it's too late. People need to be watching this before their kids are taken. There needs to be a show talking about this stuff before their kids are out of their homes. Actually,
people should watch these shows before they even consider having children.
Mm-hmm. Right. You're absolutely right, Tiff. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because that could be the difference to see whether you're strong enough or not. Because we don't know what their target is going to be 10 years from now. We don't know why their target is what it is now. All we know is what the target is. We know statistics. We know that if you're black, chances are good by the time you're 18, 75% of you will have had CPS in your life. That's a pretty shitty statistic. That's 3 out of every 4 black people in this country by the time they're 18 will have had a run-in with CPS. The numbers are pretty damn close for the Spanish people. Now, the numbers are overwhelmingly white, but it's not to the same position as the amount of black kids because the population is still different. It's 2 to 1. It's 2 to 1, white to black. That's what it is, right down the line. But they're not targeted that way.
I think I sent you an article, but I don't know if I did or not. You'll have to look. I read an article that black families, the percentage is 63% that a black family will have a CPS case in their lifetime.
Wow. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's a lot of freaking people. Do you get how environmentally manipulated sweat patches are? It takes exposure to test, and that's it. Yeah, they're sweat patches. That's a whole episode themselves. Absolutely, you're right. And that they're not probably far from that they're doing that. They said the next test, Torland said the next thing they'll be asking for your sperm. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're not in some places already. You know, it's crazy. They're getting out of control. They're violating our rights. This is the whole thing when they try to overturn Roe versus Wade, because still you have privacy to the liquids and fluids inside of your body. Roe versus Wade was about abortion. Yes, it was, but it was more than that. It was about you staying private inside your body. You know, that's what that whole damn thing was about. You know, making it, but they're putting it in the courts, right? Hair follicles, blood tests, sweat patches. Yeah, this is like an open air sniff for a drug dog, right? Let's walk through the city streets because it's not going to have dope and weed and everything, hot dog and ketchup and, you know, everything else on these things, right? That's not going to stick to these things. These are all things that this next round need to advocate for and stop. I think Becca wanted to maybe come in and say something because this kept dinging saying that Becca was in the back room. I don't know if that's a new feature or something, but let's see what Becca has to say. Since she's a younger generation, we'll give her a second here to come in. And if she didn't want to say anything, then she doesn't have to come in. But Becca, did you want to come in? Did you want to come in? I didn't know if that was a new thing that they were doing or if it was like a thing. Or so what did you think? What do you think about what I just said? Because you're the next generation of these stuff.
So it must be a new thing, but essentially, you're right. I mean, everything that both of you said was correct. I mean, we do need to stop them. I mean, yeah, I am the younger generation, but unfortunately I was raised like by your guys' definition, like quit being a tattletale, you know, quit doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. You know, you guys are being... But the newer generation essentially has to start from where we've ended. I mean, you're right. We're not gonna in our lifetime. We're probably not gonna see the success of what we've done, which is sad. But they do need to start taking over. They do need to start doing their due diligence. Like if I wouldn't have done my due diligence, if Tiff wouldn't have done her due diligence, like literally they could have stolen my kid because I literally didn't, because of misinformation, false information off of a report from a hospital. These are professional buildings. What are they doing? They're not even literally, they can't communicate, which I know here in Ohio, they're actually now passing a better communications role in legislation, which that just said to me, that's more government overreach. And more information that they shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm. That's it. But that's as far as the advocate thing. But do you agree with all of what we've said? Do you agree with that, Becca?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Everybody needs to stop and just stop being. Oh God, people make my brain hurt sometimes.
Yes, the brain does. The brain does char. All right. I wanted to ask you. So thank you, Becca. I wanted to make sure that we were on the right track here. Make sure us old people were right with you newer.
Oh my God,
younger
you're not
folk.
freaking old.
We are getting old. But all right, I'm gonna pop you out, and then I'm sure you'll be back after this next segment. So yeah, there we work there, Tiff. So that's good. Becca says we're 100%. So that's good. That's awesome that she gave us the A-OK. I mean, but it's the truth, right? She's 20 years younger than us, about, So it's
I
her.
have kids older than her.
Yeah, I don't, but that's the thing. Like, so at least she knows what she's doing and what she's, what needs to be done and how it's going to be done, and she can now advocate on to others and she does a damn good job of that anyway. I mean, she got her arms so deep in research shit that people are like, where's this? Like she's pulling shit out of cabinets that haven't been looked in for 1,000 years. And that's just right. But she's giving you guys the information, but it's not up to her to do it for you. Now you guys take the information and go study it yourselves. Learn about it, research it. If it can help you, it can help you. If it can't, it can't. But that's up to you. Don't ask us to be like, do you think that this will help us? I don't know. Will it? Like Tiff said, you know your case, not me.
And if
right,
you
we are.
don't know what's going on in your own case, then you have a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
You should know everything that's going on in your case, unless CPS hasn't contacted your lawyer or you in 73 days, and then you're just in limbo.
Mm-hmm. Which don't ever let that happen. So ABC Alex Baird says, what do we do? What does he do? Well, you know what? That's kind of a difficult question for you right now because I don't know where you are or what you. Obviously, we're talking about the patches. You were talking about all of that stuff, but where are you in your case? I mean, honestly, now you need to take it from here to there to say, what do you do? What do you do? Where are you new? Are CPS taking your kid? Have they not? Like where are you? Are you under your safety plan guidelines? There's so many places that you can be at. Like what do you do? Well, where are you? Where are you in your case, man? That will tell us what you need to do next. I know it's a tough thing to say, guys, to say get TPR'd very quickly, especially if you think things are going on. But realize this, that you are going to be in your case for at least 15 out of 22 months. That is how their budget is lined up. 15 out of 22 months, they get to have money for reunification services. Okay. And then after 15 out of 22 months happens, that's when they switch goals and then switch things to permanency. And that's where a new fund comes in, which is where we get our incentives to adopt money from. You see, so it's all set up. When that caseworker comes in and they say, we're going to have a safety plan, the safety plan is going to be about a year to figure this out. How the hell does this woman know that just came off the street what it's going to take for you to go to counseling, for drug testing, all this stuff that you probably don't even need to have, or they don't. But if you notice, they throw that to you automatically. Oh, this safety plan is going to be at least a year. A year? You're going to take my kid for a year? Automatically? How do you know that? You know that because they've already told us. Look at what they say in their bills and how they spend their money. They will tell you every bit of what is going on and how long it's going to be. It's all written out for you. You just need to look at it and study it and learn it. Find out where they're dropping the money. Go push hard on those days that they're doing the drops. Like every 6 months, you get that judicial hearing. That's a mandatory thing in the Title IV funding. Go there on your best game. Go to that judicial hearing and tell them, bullshit, this is bullshit, and demand that your kid comes home that day. I'm not saying don't fight anymore at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying just go for the TPR. You still got to do what you got to do. What I'm telling you is this is what you got to do, and it's probably most likely going to be like this. But when you go to these things, you go there with piss and vinegar and facts and facts and facts, and you tell that judge, look in my file folder. You'll see all of this evidence that I'm brought to you that I'm talking about. So this review is inadequate because there's no imminent danger any longer. The rule is once imminent danger has been alleviated, then so should your conditions and your child should go back to you. But they're not doing that because they're setting goals way out of line, way ahead of when they should be. And that's not what's supposed to happen. But we've let it. We let them do it. And they do it. And we don't have our kids because nobody's at those hearings going, Your Honor, this is what the law states. The law, that thing that you're supposed to be defending and using to protect us parents from tyranny and bullshit, that's happening right here in this courtroom. So can I please have my fucking kids back? You know, that's it. That's what needs to happen, people. Now, I know that seems crazy, but it's really not.
But you're right, it's not. Because I will tell you, for the new people here, I don't just back down. I don't care who you are. If I'm right and you're wrong, we're going to settle this right here, right now. You have to stand. You have to stand on the Constitution. You have to. Okay? Because that's what protects you and your children. Yep. And people are going to say, the Constitution doesn't apply in the courtroom. And I've told my parents to ask them 3 times, are you sure the Constitution doesn't apply? Yes. Are you positive the Constitution doesn't apply? And when they say yes again, say, I'm going to ask you one more time. And when they say yes, I've told my parents to tell them, well, I guess the 11th Amendment doesn't apply in this courtroom either, because that's quote unquote where your immunity comes from. If the Constitution doesn't apply, neither does your immunity.
Mm-hmm. I agree, 1,000%. ABC Alex Baird says this. He says, so what if they had a TPRS? It was set for September. Then they withdrew it to allow parents more time to reunify. Now they're saying we give your kids back as soon as we get a patch on for testing. Then you know what you do? You make sure that they write that son of a bitch down, go to the bank, get it notarized with them, make sure they do it right in front of a notary, make sure all that's done in writing, and then you go get that damn patch test, and you take that patch test, you get a copy for you, you can, or however you do it, make sure you get one from them and for you. Get 2 of them. You want 2 done. And then you go and put those things in. And then you go, when you get those results, you go to that fucking courtroom. You say, Your Honor, here's an agreement that we made that's notarized. That's this, that, and this. And this is an official agreement. And you go there to the court and tell them, give your goddamn kids back. That's what you do. That's exactly how you do it. And make sure you're going to pass first, too, obviously. I don't advocate for people doing drugs, and I don't advocate for any of that stuff. But all I'm going to say is this. If you know you're going to be dirty, then you do whatever you got to do to not take that test. Don't give them any ammunition against you.
That's right.
Get off the goddamn drugs. Get done with them. That's fine. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do, and I'm not frowning on anybody that does drugs. I'm just saying don't be stupid and walk in there. If they're telling you they're going to hair follicle you and you know you're going to fail, then don't go. Don't give them the ammunition, because it's one thing to argue the fact you didn't show up for these things. It's another thing to argue a positive. I'm not saying that I agree with any of those things. I'm just telling you, proceed with caution. If you're going to fail those things, use your head.
So Darren, I thought that I read the end of the post, and I probably did. I probably just got distracted. So, do you want to say what's at the end of your post so that we can elaborate on that for a few minutes before we end our show?
I don't care. Go ahead. What is it? Go ahead, read it.
Oh my God, you're going to make me pull it up. Hold on.
Oh, you're the one that wants to elaborate. What part do you want to elaborate on?
Okay, hold on. I got to open it. I pinned it on my Facebook page. The very last paragraph says this. I just wrote this on, and whomever, we're not going to say, no chat GPT, no copycat bullshit. My fingers, my brain, my heart, and my keyboard. My best friend got me when no one else would lift a finger. That's you, Tiff. I do want to say that is so touching, and I'm trying to choke back the tears. Mm-hmm. Because I never knew that I pulled you out of anything that you were in, and I appreciate that. And
we wouldn't even be doing this if it wasn't for you. I mean,
well,
Becca, but you bought me this computer that makes us be able to continue on. And I hope your husband's not listening.
somebody
Somebody
asked me
did.
for your
But whatever,
your
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
Okay,
if it wasn't
but
for
I
you.
do. Okay, but this is what I want to say to everybody. And I love Darren just like he's my brother, and I've told him that before. We're not just best friends and partners, like we're family, like family. I want everybody to know that even in my darkest days, I will lift you up. I've been there. I've done it. Got the fucking t-shirts, the banners, the sweatband. It doesn't matter. Okay. I was TPR 30 years ago. This is how I got started. It was over 30 years. But anyway, so I understand. And I think a lot of people that are in this right now who has never been TPR'd, who are out there advocating, they will never know the pain. Okay. I still cry about my daughter, and she's 36. So again, I've been there. I've done it. I can honestly say I know how all these parents feel when they go to TPR, when they're dealing with CPS. It's just a bunch of bullshit. I'm an advocate, and I even forgot shit. Okay. I've done this for so long that when I got the call, I thought I really was being punked because I had to ask again, who are you again? Yeah, so there's some things that even I forgot because at that moment you're just like in shock, like, what? This is really going on? Are you serious? So I understand, and I try to lift everybody up that goes through stuff. So that's all I wanted to say, but I'm always here for you, Darren. Always.
Oh, I appreciate that, Tiff. And you, except for today, which I'll fix that in just a minute. If any of you guys have anything, and I hope he doesn't get mad at me for putting this out there, if you guys are having issues with these the drug tests and the stuff that goes on, any sort of the chemical stuff, look up a guy by the name of Okori Okorocha. He is the best of the best in substance abuse. He's not there to rehab you or anything. He's there to challenge the systems and the practices that they use to get you these results. If you go to his website and his stuff, he has a bunch of information there on these things. He's a ball busting attorney like no other. And he's going to cost you, but if they're challenging you on drugs and stuff and you need someone to come to you and defend you against these drug tests, Okori Okorocha is the guy you want to have in your corner, because he will chew them up, spit them out, and buy them their headstone for their funeral, who knows, whatever. And that's not a death threat to anybody, so don't try to think of that as anything. People, we don't ever threaten anybody's lives on this show. And it just seems like there's a whole array of people around us that are going down for that. None of us are ever threatening anybody's lives here. So make sure you remember that. You got anything else, Tiff? Oh, Mr. Naylor's here. I got to do it only because it gives me the opportunity to do this. CPS Deadpool in the house. Everybody, he put up some pretty awesome posts, Tiff. I don't know if you saw the post that he said, but I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to pull up a couple of Naylor's badass posts that he did today.
CPS Deadpool, America's auditor, Florida born, truth sworn, tyrants in the crosshairs, we coming for you. No more fake laws, street justice.
Let me see where it is here. This is a badass one right here.
Land of the free, home of the brave.
Look at this one that he said, Tiff. Naylor said, the folks involved with this show are not a movement. Instead, they're leadership of a fight against the system. That's pretty badass, Naylor. And then another one that he put up here that was pretty cool that I saw was, said, Tiff and the Punisher and all others involved advocate, educate, mentor, research, and so much more. That's leadership. So thank you, Naylor. Thank you very much, buddy. great. Well, let's end the show with the rest of his song. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all so much for showing up, for commenting, all that good stuff. Get a hold of us if you need us. We're always here. Have a good night, everybody.
Trafficking dressed up as protection. America's auditor, bringing street justice resurrection. We do the law, no more fake laws. Street justice rising, breaking tyrants' jaws. Rights getting stripped from our arsenal every day. Stand tall, fight back, take it all away. Land of the free, home of the brave, no more chains. CPS Deadpool leading the charge through the flames. Good old boys united, corporation falling down. Real law coming, hear that southern rebel sound. Hiding behind
Let's go, Brandon.
Twisting the statutes while the free man dies. From Florida back roads to the Capitol halls. Nail on the hunt, answering freedom's cause. Corporate United States turning kids into profit. Sealing fates in the system, can't stop it, or can we? Auditors here with the lens and the creed. We the people waking up, planting that freedom seed. No more codes and fake laws, twisting the foundation. Common law rising, ending the damnation. Villains in uniform scatter when the spotlight hits. Street justice serve hot, no mercy, no quits. Florida thunder rolling, quest for the truth untamed. Renegade, reckoning, put the tyrants to shame. They fear the camera, they fear the raw exposed. America's rights, our shield, our blade, our way. What we gotta do? Film it all, stand your ground. Audit every office, burn their corruption down. Restore the republic, strip the corporate veil. Good old boys and patriots, let freedom prevail. From the swamps to the mountains, every town and hall. CPS Deadpool answering the freedom call. We do the law, no more fake laws. Street justice rising, breaking tyrants' jaws. Rights getting stripped from our arsenal every day. Stand tall, fight back, take it all away. Land of the free, home of the brave, no more chains. CPS Deadpool leading the charge through the flames. Good old boys united, corporation falling down. Real law coming, hear that southern rebel sound. Deadpool auditor, southern wrecking the call. Street justice forever. We do the law. For the show, for the show, for the fight, for the fight. Florida to the nation. Chris Naylor, rebel style, pure liberation.
They said don't fight the system. They said stay quiet. They were wrong. Lock in. We are exposing what so many have failed to. We are going to show you what bar attorneys have hidden from all of us. Hundreds of thousands of children and twice that of parents have been lied to and walked down the road of termination. It's the death penalty. We're all of the protesters, the ones who fight for the rights of prisoners, dogs, illegal immigrants. Why aren't you coming to the aid of our children and families? Right here in America, every day a child per minute is kidnapped.
And no one cares. We fight alone until today. CPS Punishers mount up. Here comes the CPS Punisher.
Anonymous tip, another lie from one of them. No warrant, no proof, just a badge and a grin. Stealing kids like trophies, thinking they'll win. Mama crying on the porch, daddy in the cage. System wrote the script, but the CPS Punisher just flipped the page. The educator they banned, I see every violation, every forged line, every ex-part hearing, every stolen time. One tap of the app and the truth ignites. Welcome to the CPS Punisher, now we can fight.
CPS and the courts have lied to us all.
CPS Punisher, here to pull the chains and expose the game. CPS Punisher, the educator they never wanted you to find. Punisher, one tap and their empire cracks. We rise, we take our kids back. The app is called the CPS Punisher.
I'm the
skull in the night, the binder full of secrets and weapons you all need. Ab initio, watch me void that lie. Fourth Amendment armor, watch the tyrants cry. Falsified drug test gone in a flash. I see Tevio, warrior, due process king. Every parent hero when the hotline rings. I call it justice. Download the truth, now the system busts us. From the courtroom to the streets, hear the battle cry. The CPS Punishers arrive. Kiss your bar asses goodbye. They tried to silence us, now we're the loudest voice in the room.
CPS Punisher.
Here to avoid the chains and expose the game.
CPS Punisher.
The educator they never wanted you to find.
Born as her.
The children never leave again. Families rise, we never look back. We now use the CPS Punisher. This ain't revenge, this is reunification. This ain't rage, this is resurrection. Open the app, step into the fight. You ready?
CPS Punisher.
The app you need when they took your kid.
CPS Punisher.
The truth they hid, now the truth gets lit.
Born as her.
Download the power, take back the throne.
Punisher.
You're never alone. CPS Punisher. The educator they never wanted you to find. Void complete, family restored. The bar is finished, the Constitution will prevail. Judges do what's right. Treason is your penalty.
CPS Punisher.
Here comes the CPS Punisher.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?